Hello, hello. Just testing. Okay, it's working. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. It's already stream number 8. And let's get back working on Smack, right? Shotgun made cafe. Alright, yesterday I worked a little bit off camera. I did not worked all that much. Let me just first of all put music. Oh, sorry. Loop. Yeah. Now, let's begin. Okay. Yesterday I worked a little bit. Let me show you what I did. Alright. Hello there. Okay. What I did was very little, right? Just visual changes actually. You can notice that the windows are more detailed. Now they have shading and the glass effect. I decided to remove the glass from the counter, right? Now it looks more cleaner. I think it's better. I know that some of these cafeterias, at least in my city, actually have those glass counters, so you can choose a food from there or something like that. But I decided to just not do that here. I'll keep it cleaner, you know? And then we have the doors. Nothing too crazy, I just added the texture for the doors. And here's the exit door. Usually this door and this door will be blocked by a door. So you will not see the darkness or the light of the outside world coming through, right? And another very interesting thing is that I fixed the issues where the player would change directions and the shotgun would not. Or like vice versa, I don't know. Where the shotgun would change directions and the player not, something like that. And that actually applied to the tail. So the tail was very broken. It could actually look to the complete wrong direction, you know? So now I just resynced all of them. Sorry, my throat is especially bad today. And yeah, I believe that the tail is working fine now. Everything's working smoothly. Now let's go back to a sprite, because today I'm going to work on something big. I would love to say that it's been fun to just add stuff to the cafeteria, but it's not been very fun actually. It's been more tiring, because it's just drawing and drawing and drawing and not doing anything more than that. So today we're going to do that again, but not on the cafeteria details, not on the furniture for the cafeteria. We're going to create a new room. The kitchen, right? So we're going to create the kitchen today. And for that, I have a few ideas, right? So it's going to be more interesting than just creating furniture. It's going to be like really creating a kitchen. So the first thing that I want to do is just take these walls and put them in another layer. I really want to change the colors first. The first thing that I want to do is change the colors, right? I'll change them again later, so they're not final here, right? They will not be final. But yeah, I want to change the colors, and I really think about making the kitchen blue. So it contrasts very well with the pink from the rest of the cafeteria, you know, from the main halls and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll not do this. I'll do it like this. I'm going to work with the bigger version. I'll just have to reduce it a lot in size. But that's fine. The reason is because of this. But actually, there will be no windows on the kitchen, so there is no problem about that. Right, so let's just change the colors then. You know what, I think it's going to be better if I just do this. And then delete this, delete this. Now it's a lot better. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is just flip this and just fix its height. But hey, have I changed the... I don't quite remember. Okay, so let me just merge the two layers. I don't quite remember if I have changed the position of the door. Apparently not, so it's going to work very well. Right. Okay, so since there are no windows or doors except for the entrance door to the kitchen, I'll just simply remove it completely. Remove everything from here. You know how crazy that is? Like just removing walls from your establishment. Okay, and now to the last steps, to last bits and pieces. Alright, now it's a square of nothing. So let me just change this, right? First of all, I will change one tile here, and I will change another tile here. Because the kitchen will actually be very small, you know, it's not going to be a big place, it's just going to be very, very small. And then I'm going to move... Oh, not like this. How can I do this? Okay, so let me just take the big one and measure it to see how much. Okay, 88. Fine. And here, 40. So I'll have to... Yeah, just break another tile. Just put it another tile. One tile to the right. This actually syncs perfectly with the rest, you know, because I have a mental map, like a literal mental map of how the cafeteria looks from the outside. So you have the bathrooms on the right side, right? You have the center and you have the kitchen up above. But the kitchen will not take all the space. The kitchen will just stop halfway through the x-axis of the cafeteria, and then the rest of that space, that missing block on the top left, is going to be where the breaker room is. That I'll not work on that in October, right? So I'll I'll leave to work on that later. Because it's not like I have much time to just waste on stuff that I'll not use this month, you know? So yeah, for now the breaker room is just an idea, but it could be important to the gameplay as well, you know? I really think that the best part about this game is the fact that it is completely expandable. You know, I can just expand so much on this idea, right? And now I have something that resembles a kitchen. I don't know if it actually resembles a kitchen, but we have something, right? We have the kitchen wall. Let me just see one thing, okay? Let me just see one thing very quickly. 88, oh yeah. The door is perfectly in the middle of the kitchen, and I think that's kind of funny. I think that's good, that's good. Alright, so these are the size comparisons, right? This is the main cafeteria, and this is the kitchen. The kitchen will not have anything special. I believe it could have a window here, but I can always change that later, right? So for now, I'm going to leave that the way that it is right now. So let me just do this. And add it to a top layer. Because now I want to work on the roof. Take the cafe roof big and just remove all of this. All of this. Alright. I believe I could leave it yellow. I think it's not a bad idea. Let me just try it. Perfect. I could leave it yellow, but I'm thinking about changing it to another color. But no, I'll leave it yellow, I'll leave it yellow. Just so it actually... I don't know exactly, but it actually makes sense with the rest, and it will look very cute. And in the end, I want to make stuff cute, so yeah, I want to make cute stuff, you know? I want to make the establishment look like, not very, very cute, but just a little bit cute. Because yeah, it's a maid cafe, so it's supposed to be cute, you know? So this will be the kitchen. Walls. Perfect. And this is the kitchen roof. Alright. Now I can just put them into the game. Well, how will it work? I still don't know exactly. Because this is not as easy as it seems. Because I'll have to change the entire like space that the game happens, you know? I'll have to change that. So I believe. Yeah, but then I placed the roof in the wrong way. So now I'll show you, right? I'll soon show you, okay? How it's looking. Now I guess I'll do that right now, because I'll have to change a lot of stuff. And this kinda leaves me... It actually leaves me kinda sad. But there's no problem about that. I'll do that. I'll do that, okay? So this is the cafeteria, right? The cafeteria kitchen. Looking right now, it doesn't look like a good size. I wish it was actually smaller. Because they actually don't look like it has much space here to a breaker room, you know? But I don't know, I'll not worry about that right now. I'll worry about that later, okay? Oh yeah, and the fact that this wall here is like this. Yeah, the kitchen could be more square, actually. Yeah, the kitchen could be more square. But I don't know, I'll change that later, right? I'll just work on this right now. So I'll have to double that number, right? Seeing 636 times 2. 1,272. 1,272. Now you see, this is the space where everything from here will go, right? So I have to replace everything. So let me just... Oh, but then it doesn't fit. Then it doesn't fit. Then it doesn't fit. I'll have to change. Is that right? Yeah, I think that is actually... You know what? Screw that. I'm going to make it different. Oh yeah, thank you. It doesn't save the size here. You know what? No. Close from here and open again. There's no problem in doing that, okay? So I'll just copy this frame here just to be safe, you know, and let's do that again. Okay. Now add 50%, you know? So it's 636 plus 636, 954. 954. Now I really don't expect it to match perfectly. But yeah. Yeah, but no, it could not work this way. It has to be one tile upwards. Yeah, it has to be one tile upwards. But then again, it's not going to be enough. It's definitely not going to be enough. Dude. Okay, first of all, let me just remove these ones here, so it just opens space for me to work, you know? Let me just add those stuff again. Kitchen walls. Walls. Oh yeah, that's right. It's alright. And now, let's add the kitchen roof. Something like this, okay? So the kitchen, like, matches perfectly. Let me just remove this roof here and place it right here. Just switch the layers. Alright. Now, let's think, okay? How can I do this? I'll have to make it all fit. Yeah, sorry, let me just take this as well. I'll just have to make it all fit. With some free space, you know, up top. Let me just see one thing, okay, so it has one tile up top. Just see this. So you don't see that whole tile, alright. I have to have a tiny space above and below, so it actually works for the screen shake, you know, the screen shake has to have a tiny space above and below, so it works, you know, so it can work actually. Okay. Let's just double again, you know. Let's just double it again, because I'll probably have to change the size of the kitchen again, so it would be nice to have more space for now. Later on, I'll just do that, you know, I'll just crop everything. I've done a lot of this stuff when I was developing Tasogare, you know. Alright, let me just check one thing. Yeah, so it's perfectly here. Okay, so if I just hit play, it should not have changed anything. Everything should be working fine. Exactly how I expected. But when you move upwards here, it's going to change the camera to that room, you know? And there's one thing that's kinda bothering me a little, is the fact that they do not connect perfectly, the roofs. I mean. But I know why it's that, okay? I know exactly why that is. So let me just fix that very quickly, because it's really bothering me. In the end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? It don't matter a thing, okay? So now that it's working pretty much, I can just crop. Okay, so it's just one tile and half below. But actually, first of all, I'll have to... Yeah, so I'll have to see if the kitchen size is good enough, you know. That's going to be kind of hard, I believe. Okay. So now let's see, right? If you move upwards here, let me just save this. I have a backup frame right here, if anything happens. Okay. I really think this kitchen is too big. Yeah, I'm really thinking about the kitchen being too big. So let's just work on the kitchen a little bit more. Before I head to the other section, to the next step. Which the next step is the camera movement. That's going to be very painful, actually. So yeah, that's why I'll try to have everything working properly beforehand. Like, have everything ready, you know? Okay, so this one... it's actually 46. Oh, sorry. This is 48, but it's probably like this. No, it's not like this. It's a little different, you know? How does it fit being 46 in this space? Let me just see it again. Sometimes messing with pixels can be very confusing. Right, now I see it. Oh, let me just make sure of one last thing. Let me just make sure of one last thing, okay. This here and this here. Oh no, it's 48. I'm dumb. I'm completely dumb, right? This makes a lot more sense, because it's perfect. Why would it not be one tile in size, you know? And now, let me just do this. Okay, so I'll change it. It 1 to 2 to 2. It could be something like this. Yeah, I believe I could just do this and have 2, not 3. That's what I'm thinking. Having it like this. Which is how much? 32, right? 32. So it's a perfect 32. I think this is going to be a lot better. It's going to make the kitchen look a lot more square, but that's the idea. The idea is to make the kitchen actually look square. Have I already told you how much I hate doing this kind of stuff? Like working on this specific like scenario, not scenario, but indoor environments. It actually pisses me off so much. Because it's harder for no reason. It's just something that I'm not very good at, and that makes it a lot harder. It's just that, my skill issue that makes me not like it, you know? It's not because, yeah, working in environments is bad. No, working in environments is actually very interesting. If you know what you're doing, you know? If you don't know what you're doing, then it's a hassle. You know what? I could bring half a tile and make it a 24 by 24. Right? So I could just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this, like this, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it should be 24, the difference here. 24, perfectly. Perfect, actually. Let's just do this and finish it. I could reuse the other textures, but nah, I find it easier to just work around this way. Just remaking it. It's not a complex texture, so it's very easy to just do this. Right. I still feel like the other one looks better, but I'm going to go with the 44. Obviously, 24 actually, sorry. When I actually focus too much on work and stuff, I speak nonsense all the time. If you're here, you probably already know that. It's just something that I do. Hey, for 1 pixel, really? Alright. And now I can just bring it all down by another tile. Yeah, I'm thinking this kitchen is looking a lot better. A lot closer to my... idea of the kitchen, you know? Because I don't want the kitchen to be too big, you know? I want the kitchen to be just the right size. I don't want it to be a incredibly big environment or something like that. No, I want it to be kind of simple, actually. Yeah, let me just do this. Because, oh, sorry, wrong layer. Because the kitchen is just the kitchen, you know? It's just where you go to get the food items for the customer. Yeah, so just remove the corners first. So let's talk about something interesting while I work on this. What about Rain World? I actually don't have any other... Like, there's pretty much nothing else that flows through my mind more than Rain World. You know, I had my phases. I had the Minecraft phase, I had the Terraria phase, I had the Risk of Rain phase. Now I'm thinking that Rain World is the best game ever made. And you may disagree with me. Which I'll understand perfectly fine. Because I can understand why someone would not like Rain World. And that's why when I always recommend it to someone, I make it actually very clear that this is not a game for everyone, you may not like it. This is a game for crazy people like me, you know? But you know what makes Rain World a good game? Not what makes, but one of the... oh god. One of the stuff that actually makes playing Rain World a lot more enjoyable is not caring about death, you know? If you fail, that's it. There's nothing else that you can do, you know? Like, try again. Oh, but that's not fun. Well, clearly failing is not fun. But if you want to experience the good part of Rain World, you have to experience failure first. So yeah. Let me try something, okay? Let me try something, okay? Very quickly, very quickly. So this would be the size of the kitchen, you know. Here is the kitchen. Dude, I still think that making it... You know what? Screw the room. Screw the breaker room. I'm going to make this kitchen like fit right in the middle of the screen, right at the center of the screen. That's what I'm going to do. Future plans are for future, not for right now. Let me just try something, okay? So to do that, I'll have to move everything but keep the door in place. So I'll use this as a reference, right? I'll just bring it all down. And use this as a reference point, you know, to the door and everything, okay? So this is perfect, right? So if I just move this to right here, not right here, right here. Is it right in the middle? No, it's not in the middle. It's far from the middle. And here, it's in the middle? No, it's not in the middle yet. And here, it's not in the middle. Okay, so how can I do this, right? This is 64. And this is 80. I think that I'll have to shrink it a little bit. Yeah, this will be 64 and this will be 80. Okay. I believe that I'll have to shrink it by one of these. And now if I move one tiny tile to the left, yeah, it should be perfect, right? And now I just have to move the door. I just have to change the position of the door. To something like this. And all of this just to make the kitchen centralized, you know. But now I noticed it's not centralized with the middle of the screen, which is kind of fine. I could actually just crop it all, you know. I could do that, but I could do that in Clicked Infusion, not right now. Let me just test something, okay? What's a good height? Okay, so it just has 92, 80. So it just has 12. 156. 160. Now it's perfectly in the middle. It actually doesn't matter anything. It being perfectly in the middle or not. But you know, one thing that I want to do. If I leave it like this, but only move 2 pixels upwards, it's going to match perfectly with the rest of the cafeteria. That's right, that's something. Alright, and now here I'll just have to realign all of this to perfect. But then again, yes, I changed the... First of all, I changed the door. So the door must fit. And then I changed the rest. I just desynced the door, but that's fine. Resync it very quickly. Like this. Right, now it should be working smoothly. And I don't really care about all the empty space around it. I could actually shrink it down even more, but I can do that on Clicked Infusion. I don't have to... Dude, why am I like this? Why am I like this? You know what? Screw this. Screw this. Screw this and screw that. Right. Now I can do that correctly. Because it was saving in different frames, you know. It was not saving... Now... Let me just cancel it and try again. Kitchen. Walls. And then just kitchen. Roof. Now it works a lot better. Okay. So do you see this? It actually perfectly connects with the bottom part here. Oh, you're probably not seeing it. Sorry. Let me show you. Okay. Now you can notice that it merges perfectly in this spot here, you know? So this is the kitchen. At least some part of it, actually. And then down here is the cafeteria, you know, the rest of the cafeteria. I don't quite know how I'll do that, how I'll do this. But I want the whole cafeteria to disappear, right? Like when you go up here, the whole cafeteria down there just fades, you know? And then when you go down here again, the cafeteria fades again. Like the kitchen fades and then the cafeteria go back. Now there's something that I have to do, which is just bring it all one tile up. I just see one thing. No, it merges perfectly. Like this, okay. But then having to move everything 2 pixels down is actually such a pain. I guess that I'll just leave it like this and that's fine. Just move one tile upwards and everything's fine. And now let's just let me just move this. Change the camera to the correct angle. Now the cafeteria is actually perfectly where it was before, but it has a kitchen up top. You know, and I really like the size of the kitchen. I find it quite good. Now looking at it, I have a urge to just reduce it in size even more, to shrink it even more. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave it like this, because I have more important stuff to do, right, to work before. Let me just work on the cafeteria ground first, on the, not cafeteria, but the kitchen ground first, okay? So, cafe ground big. I'm going to use the same color of ground to this one. I'm not sure. Probably not. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's broken. Because I have to remake it. Anyway, I have to remake the corners anyway. So it doesn't really matter if it's good or broken, right? And the kitchen ground is going to be the same color as the rest of the cafeteria, or it's going to be different? I don't know yet. I really don't know yet if it's going to be the same thing or if it's going to be different. Sorry, I had to cough. My throat today is just killing me, dude. What the heck? Actually, the system that I'll be working with the camera is a simple system compared to the other systems that I'll have to work on this game, like the customer systems, like the customer AI and everything. It's going to be very painful, but it's going to be pretty fun. I'm kind of excited to that, you know? So let me see. Which ground color is a good ground color for the kitchen? I'm thinking about doing a very subtle change. Not a big change, just a very subtle one. You know, changing to a kinda bluer color. You know, just to not be the exact same color. To be a little bit different, okay? So this is actually called the kitchen ground. Ground. Yep, perfect. Okay, now let's just move to the other monitor very quickly and start working on this, right? So I have to add the kitchen ground. Yeah, so I have to add the kitchen ground here. And now let me just remove the walls so I can just add them like this. So they are actually added later, you know, like above the ground. So it's looking kind of simple, but kind of cool, you know. Yeah, so you will not be able to see any of it up there, any of these up there. It's not going to happen, okay? And now it fits perfectly. Why does it now? Why now it fits perfectly? Like, what happened? What happened? I haven't changed anything. Okay, now it works. That's fine for me. Okay, so how will this work? Okay, so I could even just place it one down, so it kind of merges with the walls, you know what I mean, like with the cafeteria wall. But no, I find very simple fix for that. So first of all, how can I do this? Okay, I'll have to take the camera object. Camera, where's camera? Camera object. Oh, right here. And add a movement to it. A movement that only moves upwards. And make it 20, something like that, yeah. None of this stuff. I could actually make a manual movement, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it like this, because I already know how to do this, like this. So 20 again. Fixed angle, no auto rotation, this is fine. Both movements, just change the directions and have exactly the same. Okay, so now how does it work? I'll have to prepare a lot of triggers, like lots of triggers, right? So let me first prepare the trigger to the kitchen, right? The kitchen trigger. Right, the kitchen trigger will be this beautiful green here. Okay, so this is actually the kitchen door trigger. Then I'll have to do it like this, okay? So let me just see if you're seeing the correct screen. Yeah, you're seeing the correct screen. Okay, so now starts real game development, right? It was already real game development, but now it starts something different, something great, right? So then I'll have to add another one that's going to be this purple. Purple or pink? No, it's going to be pink. It's going to be the kitchen door trigger 2, because actually the trigger 1, let me just rename it to trigger, actually in, trigger in and trigger out, right? Trigger in and trigger out. Okay. Trigger in, perfect. And now I have to create another trigger, which is the trigger out. So you have the trigger in and out of the kitchen. Okay. And these two triggers are actually quite important, you know, because when you hit this trigger here, that means that you're going to the kitchen. And then the camera changes to the kitchen, right? Just moves to the kitchen. Now I have to prepare more triggers, like for an example this one. Not this color, because I'm already using this color for the collisions. I'll choose another color. I'll choose this purple. I really like purple. Okay, so this is going to be the camera kitchen. The camera kitchen relativer. Relativer is not a beautiful name. It's not a pretty name. Camera kitchen Relativer. Okay, camera kitchen relativer, not relativer. No. Será kitchen camera collision in. Perfect. Okay, so let me just create another one of these. Rename it. Oh, sorry, not this. And just make it like this. Okay. Okay, so this is the camera collision, you know, and then I'll have to change it. Okay, so this is the screen center cafe, and then I'll have to create another screen center. Kitchen. It's actually the same sprite as the camera, that's right. Let me see. Oh yeah, so it is one screen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So be one down and something like this, okay? So then it has to be something like this. Perfect. And now I have to create another one. Just another one that's going to be yellow. That's going to be the out. Right? The camera collision, the kitchen camera collision out. Or a better name, the cafe camera collision. So this is not supposed to be in. Let me just change the names very quickly. Right. Kitchen camera, cafe camera. Collision out, not out, just collision. Alright. Let's just change the sprite very quickly, just for the sake of doing it. It's nothing important, but I like to do it anyways. And now we have the cafe camera collision. Which is right here. Just move the hitbox to the counter. Okay, let's make the hitbox on the counter. Now this should actually be working. Okay, let me just save it, just for now. I have a backup. In any case, I have the original backup. So let me just rename it, right? Okay, so to back up. And this one is going to be the cafe. Right. And now let's prepare the camera transitions. Okay, so I'm going to make a always event as well. Let me just see, the always place first, right? Yeah, always place first. Then, okay, so So this is something that I want to do there, not here. I want to place it actually right here, not here, right here. And the camera making visible could be global. Or not, actually. Oh yeah, of course that it happened. Okay, you know what? Close. No. Open again. So it's perfect, okay? It's still here. Sorry, I'm very indecisive when it comes to this kind of stuff. Let me just make sure of one thing. Ooh, it uses the screen center to... Oh god, it used the screen center to actually... So I have to move the screen center with the camera. Okay, so you know what? I'll make little changes. Okay, that screen center is going to be exactly the same, but I'll have to do something. You see, this system is very complex, and believe me, this is going to be a simple system compared to what I'm going to do with the customers. This is going to be so much, like, such a hard thing for me to do. Okay, so this is going to be the camera kitchen relativer. I like to use the word relativer. I think it's not even a valid word for English, but I like to use it to make something relative to another, you know. So camera cafe relativer. Perfect. Okay, so now let's change this to camera kitchen relativer. And let's change it to this. Camera kitchen relativer. Oh yeah. And now here, screen center. Screen center is fine. Screen center is exactly what I need, right? And it actually should be cool. Well, but later on that. So let's make it camera cafe relativer. I could actually make them smaller. Oh yeah, but they're... I'm kind of messing with layers here, sorry. This is not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be here. Why am I working on the wrong layer, dude? Okay, so let's just make them a little bit smaller. 2, 3, 4. Four pixels smaller, right? This is the camera cafe relativer, and this is going to be the camera kitchen relativer. Kitchen. Let's start with the cafe one. No, camera cafe relativer. Just so I can mess around with other stuff while working on this, you know. Cafe kitchen. Okay, so I'll have to finish it today. Okay, I'll have to do that, because otherwise I will not know what the heck I'm even doing, you know. So I'll have to finish it all now, right now. Otherwise, I will not be able to completely understand you. Take me some time to understand what I was doing, you know? I have a specific, like, line of thought, line of logic, a logic to make this work, okay? Yeah, so now into the programming part. This is interesting, okay? So now it's going to be called the camera transitions. Camera transitions. That's perfect. So whenever this overlaps with this, it's going to camera movement, multiple movements, select movement, use calculation movement 1. So whenever I come here, it's going to do this, okay? But then it's going to stop. The reason it stopped is not because the camera is in its right place. No, it's because the camera is just flying away and there's no more screen for the camera to show. You know, I could even, like, let me just remove this very quickly so you can see what I mean, you know? So this is the camera, and this is the camera going and going and going and going and going and going forever, you know? It's just going forever. And then when the camera collision overlaps with, it was kitchen camera collision, that's right, it will select movement 0, right? So it will stop, it will have not any physics applied to it, and then it will change its position to camera kitchen relative, that bad boy there. So now the camera should be here. Let me just do that. Okay, let me just see if that's working. Okay, so it's actually right here. Oh, sorry, here. Yeah. Let me just see if that's working. Yeah, it's working perfectly. You see, there's nothing bad happening here. But there's one tiny little problem, okay? You can see that there's no screen shake, but I'll work on that later, okay? I'll leave it like this, okay? So I'll change that later, okay? So now let's just save it and work on the other steps, right? Because you may think, this is very simple, okay? But then, when the player actually collides with the kitchen door out, it will select movement 2. But there's one thing that I'll have to add to the camera, which is a variable called screen transition. Let me just see if it's spelled correctly. Transition, I guess it is, right? So this will only work if camera screen transition is equal to 0, okay? This will only work if screen transition is equal to 0. If screen transition, if it actually triggers, then it's going to set to 1. When it overlaps here, it's going to set to 0 again, right? Or it could actually set to 2. It will make more sense, right? So if screen transition is actually 1, it's going to set to 2. And then, if you're overlapping this and screen transition is actually 2, it's going to select the movement 2, and it's going to change the screen transition to 3, because it's actually moving downwards. And this way, I can actually check when the camera collided, when the camera just hits the right spot, when the camera is moving, which direction the camera is moving. This is a good system that I like to use, a variable just to set these values, right? And now, if the camera is colliding with this one here, and screen transition is actually 3, it's going to select movement, but to 0, and set its position to this one right here. Yeah, that's it. Now, if I just move, it should move with me. But as you can see, the screen shake actually is now completely broken. I don't know why exactly. I'll have to fix that later, okay? Because it only sets the position once, so it should be working. Okay, so let me just make a test. Okay. Oh yeah, now the screen shake is completely broken. It's just completely broken. Okay, I have to figure out why that is later. Oh, you know what? You know what I could do? I had an idea. Okay, so this is going to make it a little bit more complex, but it's going to make it more functional. If my theory is correct, okay, so this is going to be the camera hitbox. I believe this is a good way to call it, right? A camera hitbox. Or you know what? I could change the screen center to camera hitbox. And then I don't make the camera move, I make the screen center move. That's right. Okay, so screen center, not cafe, it's going to be just screen center. It's going to be the screen center that will have all the movements and the physics and everything, and you check for collisions and all of that, okay? I don't know if it will work, alright? It's just an idea that I had that might fix the problem with the screen shake. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know if it will work, okay? So then camera, I just have to remove all the movements, right? Because I will no longer need all those movements. And the screen transition, I think that I'm going to actually set this one to the screen center, you know, just so it makes sense, right? Because now it's not going to have this one, it's going to check for the screen center, but variable 1, right? Screen transition, screen center. This is perfect, right? Now 2, and then for 3, and then if it's overlapping, if screen center is overlapping, okay, and then I'm going to change all of this, but not attribute value D. I'm going to change to attribute value A. So this one is very complex. Okay, now let me just test it out, right? Yeah, you see the screen shake's working. And the camera is moving. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. You see? A good screen transition. But it's too slow, don't worry about that, okay? I'll work on that later, right? So you can see the camera just moving from one side to another. So imagine, okay, so you're here just serving the customers, or just minding your own business, and then sometime a customer just enters here and sits on a chair, right? And then this customer said, oh, I want a lemon pie. And then you're right here and thinks, okay, I'm going to make you a lemon pie. And then you just head to the kitchen, right? Up here. And up here is going to be the utensils, like a coffee machine, a oven, something like that. And then you're going to come here. A menu will pop up right here. And then you choose, or right side somewhere, a menu will appear. And you have to choose which item you want to make. And then you click on that item. It makes the item. You just come back here and serves the customer, right? But that's just half of the gameplay. This is just half of the gameplay loop, alright? I have lots of stuff that I have to do still. So yeah, let's just make all of this invisible, right? Like this. Save it. And now only the camera is visible, but I'll change that very soon. Okay. Now let's change the visibility of the camera, right? Okay, so whenever it sets the screen center to invisible, I want to make the camera invisible as well. Where is the camera? Camera. Invisible. Perfect. Oh yeah, so I managed to make it all work. But there's one tiny issue that's going to break everything, okay? So just look, okay? I'm on the wrong side. And if I do this, I'm now on the offset. I'm like always on the wrong side. Unless I resync myself, you know. How I'm going to fix this issue? You see that actually, I could make the character always moves towards one direction. I think I'll have to do that sooner or later. So I'm going to do that right now, okay? I'm going to make the hitbox have a variable called cutscene. And you'll only be able to move if the cutscene is 0, right? So if there's absolutely no cutscene playing, you'll be able to move with your character. If there is some cutscene playing, then you'll not be able to. That's the idea, right? But then I'll have to add in all of this and all of this. Everywhere that there's input, I'm going to change that, you know? And I'll have to change that as well on the shotgun, so you'll not be able to shoot while transitioning from one screen to another, right? So yeah, so right here you'll not be able to transition from one screen to another. I guess that I'm going to... No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I think that's fine. So now everything should be exactly the same, everything should be working perfectly. Okay, let's save it. And now, whenever you hit any of those triggers, collide with any of those triggers, actually it's going to set the cutscene variable to 1. Just this one. This one is going to set to 2, right? So this is going to be interesting. Because if your cutscene variable is actually 1... Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, I messed it up. I'm messing stuff up, okay? So, if your cutscene variable is 1, your character is going to move upwards, right? So it's going to change its position, y coordinate, position, y coordinate, -3, which is the highest speed, you know. It's actually going to simulate that you're moving upwards. So you know what? I could make that inside the movement. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this right here. Up arrow is pressed. Right, so if up arrow is pressed, it's going to do that and this. Alright. That's it. That's if cutscene is 1, actually. And then I believe it's going to... I'm going to have to change the animation to walking as well. Yeah. Very simple. How that's going to help? I have to make another trigger. That's very simple, okay? That's kind of easy. I have to make another trigger. That's easy, actually. Let me just see what are the colors. Okay, so this is pink and this is green. I want to make the opposite colors, but I want to choose different shades of each color. Okay, so this one is going to be the... Let me just see the names of them. Kitchen door trigger, right? In. So this is the kitchen door trigger in. What's going to be the... or like the kitchen door collision? No, kitchen door trigger in end. In end. It's actually a very big name. Yeah, but I think this is a good name. It's not the best name, but it's a good name. And now this one is going to be the out end. Alright. This one is the in end. Let's open this, yeah, and place it right here. Or not right here, it's going to be a little bit upwards actually. Half a tile, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think half a tile is fine. And now let's do the exact same thing, but with the out end. I'm going to place this hitbox right here, so you just don't mess up with anything. Okay, so is it right? I guess it is. It is right. Okay. Now, if cutscene is... well, if it actually collides with in end, and cutscene is 1, it's going to set the cutscene to 0. Let me just test it to see if I'm missing something, okay? I'm definitely missing something because my character did not move. Why? So whenever cutscene is one, it is... Oh, minus player speed. That's why. Because now I'm forcing it to work, you know? But then why? Oh, because I changed that. That's right. Oh, sorry. And now, this here. Set cutscene to 0, but actually, R. Could you make a... Not this R, this R. Just make a R thing here. Just make something like this, but this one is going to be plus, and set the direction to 4. Right, let me see. Now I move, and if I go back, now I move back. Alright, but I guess that I'm going to do something different. I'm going to leave these ones right here. So I just force myself to move a little bit more, you know? The camera is very slow, don't worry about that. I'm going to change that very soon. I just wanted to make everything work. So you no longer have the... You're no longer able to move while switching screens, you know? Like, if you're switching screens, you'll not be able to move, you know? It like forces you to be on the way that the camera is, right? Oh yeah, but I noticed something. Okay? So it will only set the animation to stop it if cutscene is equals to 0. That's right. So you are not even able to shoot while transitioning from one screen to another. Right. Let me just see this one. What does this one do? Subtract 1 from player speed. If cutscene is 0 as well. I'm going to change that. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's good. That's good. If there's any bugs related to this system, I'll probably discover them later, right? So now the only thing that I really want to do is to change the speed of the camera speed, right? So this is going to be in here actually. Where is it? Screen center. Screen center. Oh yeah. So let's double that and see how it looks. Now it's a lot faster. But I quite want that to have the acceleration. Too much the acceleration. Maybe I'll have to increase the speed even further. I think this is too brusque. This is too abrupt, you know? But it kind of fits with what I want. You know? Like, it kind of fits with what I want. Yeah. I think I can make a even more complex system to the camera speed, so it's not all that abrupt, you know? But yeah, for now I think it's very fun. It works. It works. It definitely works. Let me just see one thing very quickly. Yeah, it definitely works. I think that I'm going to make the room transitions a little bit different. I'm going to change the speed of the player to only 2 pixels at a time, not 3. If I change it to only 1 pixel at a time, it's going to be too slow. But then it might fit with the speed of the animation. No, this is not quite right. Looks like she's just walking downstairs and walking upwards like stairs, you know, staircases. No, this is not what I want. I think that I'm going to leave it 3. So you can just walk up here, do your stuff, and then walk down here. But this is something that I don't want to happen. So I may have to make something different. Or make that the player fades when transitioning through rooms. Or increase the amount of steps that the player must do, actually. It's still possible to break stuff. Oh yeah. Or I could just increase even more the speed of the camera speed. It's going to be kinda let me just switch on the correct one first of all. So this is going to be 160. And then I could add like 25. 25 is too less, 30. It doesn't even reach. So if I just increase it a little bit. But that's not a fair test, because I have to do this. Alright, so let me try that out. It may cause some motion sickness if you're watching this. So yeah, sorry about that. but it's for science. You see that I can just... Yeah, I managed to do that. I knew that this was going to happen. The only way to truly stop this is to reduce the player speed a little bit. Because I want the camera to reach before the player do. But I don't feel like slowing down the player is the right choice here. I'll have to mess with the camera. Or I could make another system that kinda overlaps with this one. I have some ideas of how to fix it. I could just force the screen to move whenever the player changes directions. For an example, let me try this here. I could always set the movement to 0 first and then select the next movement. Then it will actually just forces the player to... Forces the camera to move with the player. But my head is kinda aching because of so much camera movement. And it did not work. Oh, of course it did not work. Of course. Because it's at the moment here, yeah, if it's just... It's because of these ones here. Alright, but if I just remove these triggers here... Yeah, if I just remove these triggers here... Sorry. God. Okay, I don't think this idea will work very well. The idea to force the camera to move. I don't want to force the camera to move. Or I could make a super fast camera. Or like stop the player movement for a while inside here. And then keep going. This is going to be kind of painful. And if I try to just make something without any deacceleration, then it's too fast. Right, so I have to find the perfect spot. Then this is too fast. Okay. 100 might be good, actually. All right. Sorry for the movement sickness. I forgot what it's called. Sorry. Okay, so I still don't know exactly how I want this camera to work. I think this is too abrupt, you know? It's not good. With this configuration, the player and the camera actually hit the spot pretty much at the same time, which would be perfect, you know? I want the camera to actually hit the spot at the same time as the player do. And this is almost perfect, almost. Now I can just increase the speed a little bit and add a little bit of the acceleration. Then the player reaches too fast. If I just reduce a little bit of the acceleration. You know what I could do? That's something that I could do actually. I could change like if the player have to wait for the camera to reach its spot, it's not going to be good, because imagine you just enter the kitchen and the camera is still following you and you're already doing your stuff. You know, I want the camera to follow the player perfectly, or even the player move like behind the camera, you know? Like the camera must reach first, always. And so just forcing the camera to move whenever the player does is not going to be very good. It's not going to be intuitive and interesting. It's going to be just kind of broken. So I have to fix it. I have to make the camera reach before the player. But I also don't want the player to take too long. Sorry, I had to yawn. I'm kinda tired already. But I also, on top of that, want to make the camera smooth. So how can I do that? I'm not sure. I'll have to test a lot of stuff, but I'll probably test that off screen, actually, off camera. Because it's too much stuff. And this may also cause you motion sickness, so yeah. It's kind of sad. I could make something different. I could rearrange all of this. I'm just breaking stuff up, okay? Sorry. I will leave it the way that it is, and I'm going to think about a solution later on. Because I don't really know what I can do about it. you can see that the player reaches here a little bit earlier than the camera. Like 1 frame earlier, something like that. Does that cause any problems? Absolutely not. It's not going to be a problem, so the player can reach the spot a little bit before the camera. Another thing that I want to do here is just fade the cafeteria down there, you know? I don't want the kitchen and the cafeteria to appear on screen at the same time, you know? Like, when you're here, I don't want you to see that yellow bar up top, showing that there is a kitchen there. And when I'm on the kitchen, when the player is on the kitchen, actually, I don't want to show that space, that cafeteria space, you know? I want this to actually fade, so I have to work around that as well. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this. Screen transitions is such a pain, like this kind of transitions. Because I don't want it to be like artificial. I want it to feel organic. You know, like this. Like you just walk from one room to another. Fairly simple. Nothing wrong about that. And I could even like leave it like this. But this is not something that I like. Just make this one follow the frame. So yeah, now it works. Yeah. I just fixed the mouse following in a strange way. Okay, so I don't know exactly how I'll do that, but for now it's fine actually, it works. What really matters is that the camera transitions work. So I already have the cafeteria and the kitchen up there. Just fleshing it out is going to be another step. Another process, a whole new process. And I find the kitchen too disconnected from the cafeteria, to be honest. I don't quite like it. Like looking the way that it does, because it feels like it's too disconnected. I'll have to work around that. I have a few ideas, but that's going to take me so much time, and I'm actually very tired right now. Not very, but kind of tired. So I guess that I'll leave that to another time. Right, so I think I'll stop this stream right here. It was very productive, to be honest. I already started working on the kitchen, and it was very good, right? And I'll take a break, and maybe today, like today's afternoon, I'll work a little bit more on it. I'll probably not stream today. Again, I'll stream tomorrow again. Just tomorrow, not today. Because I have a few stuff that I want to do. And yeah. A few stuff IRL actually. Outside of the game. So yeah, let me just stop the music. and finish the stream. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me. Any feedback, you can just comment down below. I'll be very happy to just read it. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Até mais!